Crypto God here, and today we have a part two. We have an episode 2 of an interview that we've done before. We got the princes of Dmoon back in the house. How you doing, boys?
How's everything going? Hi.
Man, I am so excited to have you guys back.
Well, same here. How can we not be excited with that excitement?
Right. Now, we were talking a little bit beforehand and about some of the stuff you got going on, and I'm telling you, that's exciting to me. The stuff that's happening. Now, of course, we got Parisian Prince and Panamanian Prince in the house. Boys, what have you been up to?
Go on, Panamanian.
So it's very nice to be back, man. We love your energy.
Right.
Really drives upward. So yeah, we've been very, very busy, to be honest, after about a month now since we launched Dmoon. And we're launching, as we were talking before, a couple of stuff. And we're super excited to show our community in the next week.
You want to know in detail what?
Yeah. I do want to know in detail what, because here's the thing. I am chomping at the bit. I'm damn near chewing on my microphone. If I had my camera on, you could see it. My mouth is on the pop filter and I'm gnawing on it like a rabid dog just wanting the facts.
Okay, so right now we are developing a new website, right? So we have a designer working on it. We want to update the website, getting a little bit more fresh, I'd say. At the same time, we're getting our mascot. We already completed the second part of the roadmap. As we're going to the third, we'll get the mascot unveiled. We'll reveal the mascot is being done as of the moment. And we're working as well for June because we have some good partnerships coming up in June. And on top of that, we got our new advisor. That is helping us to get our fundraise. And of course, part of the proceedings will be used to get the marketing push. And of course, to get our milestones achieved as well. That's mainly it as of the moment.
So who's the advisor?
So we were looking for somebody to help us navigate in a more profound way the waters of blockchain, and a lot of name came up, and then we settled with Ian Scarf. So he's been involved in a lot of crypto projects and blockchain projects more generally, and he's helped raise upwards of 500 million, I think.
Yeah, 500 million.
500 million in different ICOs and for different projects throughout, of course, a couple of years. I think he's been involved for the last 5 or 6 or 7 years even. So yeah, it's a big deal, and we're just, it's a new relationship building, but it's super exciting.
That's exciting. Yeah, I'm looking at his website right now. Ian Scarf. He's an impressive man.
He is indeed. He has a very good background.
Right. He's worked with OpenBIC, the Studium. He's worked with all sorts of stuff, man. He's a founding member of International Deal Gateway and Eurodax. He's an advisor for that. Blockchain advisor and consultant at Nextiner. Blockchain advisor and consultant at Cecia LLC. I mean, this guy's the real deal.
Yeah, he's in the top 3 of the ICO venture advisors. So yes, we found that it would be a great partnership with him on the team as an advisor to tell us what we should be doing. He has a lot of experience in this market. So yes, I think it's a great addition to this.
Yeah, as I'm going down his list of stuff,
it will never stop.
It is a long list of projects that he's a part of. This is a really good sign, guys.
Yeah, we're happy about it.
Now, here's the question, right? After announcing this partnership, has your price skyrocketed yet? Because as soon as people start realizing he's on the team, that price is going to go up.
So the thing is, Bitcoin is not helping us, right? And is not helping anyone at this moment. So we are getting those milestones achieved. We are working on the website. We're working on the project, and when we should be going, upward in terms of price, it just comes out that Bitcoin just drops a little bit, right? And what happens is that our project, our pair, Dmoon is directly paired with BNB, right?
Right.
Which is Binance coin. What happens when Bitcoin crashes, or if you want to call it corrects itself, means that BNB comes down. Now, even if we have more liquidity into the project, the BNB will drop. If the BNB drops, our price will drop as well proportionally. So no matter how many people we have more, the more people entering the project, doesn't matter, because the price will still drop proportionally BNB. However, it turns out that our liquidity has been growing since the beginning, right? And that's the most important for direct price. But the BNB Dmoon pair liquidity, that has been growing since the beginning, and that's what makes us happy. So you cannot see it directly, but if you make a good study behind it, it's not even a big study. If you make an easy study behind it, you will see that the project has been growing. And that's the most important for us. BNB and all the market, we will automatically recover.
Right. The recovery is on its way.
It is indeed.
The recovery is on its way, which means, guys, this is a good opportunity to get on the boat for Dmoon because the liquidity's going up, yet it's still affordable for you to get on the boat, which means don't sleep on this, because if you sleep on it, what's going to happen? What's going to happen, right? The market's going to correct, and then your price is going to skyrocket. Then people won't be able to buy as much as they could have today, right? And that's a problem, because the more they buy of Dmoon, with that increasing liquidity pool, the better off they're going to be in the long run.
What we've been also seeing is that, which in my point of view, and we talked about this in the last podcast, is that a lot of what so-called they've been selling a little bit, and that doesn't make me sad at all. It doesn't make us, because that gives more opportunity to small holders to enter to the market and know that they will not be manipulated from this, right? So that is good for us, I'd say, and we're happy about it.
Whenever the market corrects, as you've been calling it, which I like that term better than crash.
Yeah.
I'm going to start using market correction from now on, because it's not a new situation, so I don't know why everybody's losing their heads, right?
Absolutely. Agree.
Their money's going to come back.
Yeah, it's inherent into anything new is very volatile, tends to be at least. And I think specifically cryptocurrencies, blockchain projects, DeFi tokens, volatility is inherent. People are thriving on this, and that's what also is because it's new, it's very volatile. And it goes up very fast, it goes down very fast. But as long as the project is solid, the team, the community, things, you gotta keep the larger picture in mind, right? And that's difficult when you see your holdings dropping 50, 80%. And you tend to sweat it out, But just think a normal financial market is volatile, but crypto is even more volatile. So that's what you gotta always keep in mind. And this something that is inherent, at least as of now. Who knows what the future is holding, but at least as of now, its volatility is inherent in all of them.
Right. So I think honestly, there's bright stuff in the future for Dmoon. Now, you guys said something about a game.
So yeah, when we're talking before new web, right? So as we said on the first episode of your podcast, we launched this as a little side project, as a quick side project. It was launched under 2 weeks, just a week and a half. And we launched a website, a very quick one with a template. So since we come from the e-commerce background, this was pretty easy. Now that we see the potential that this DeFi token has, we want to build a solid brand, right? And to do that, our website needs to be redone. So it's not even on the roadmap. We didn't even include it on the roadmap, but it's part of what needs to be done. We need to solidify our brand and our image. And what we opted for in terms of design, and we're super excited to unveil it to the community, is something we hired a UX designer. So it's a user experience designer. It's for the front end of the website. It's what the user sees, the visitor. And it comes from the gaming industry. So our website will be something very animated, so to say. So with things moving and changing and playing around. That's the aim, is to make it very, very much alive.
Right. Now, something that I sent you some screenshots to see, the market's looking like it's rising as a whole right now.
Yeah, it's looking green. Yeah, it is indeed. But once again, we are still in a very volatile moment as we speak. It's green today, but it can correct down quite easily.
Right.
I don't think it is the upward trend yet. But once again, we've been here before with Bitcoin. I've seen 3 big corrections already of Bitcoin. So you just need to hold yourself. And another thing I got is that we see a lot of our holder community. Quite cool. I was telling you about the whales that are selling, but in the other picture, what we have is the small holders, the ones that make our community. Those are holding themselves, holding on to deal life. So that's quite cool. They are not selling. They're this deep, and maybe I even see some of them buying more, and that's quite cool. That means that they really believe the project, even if he's dipping at the moment. So that's quite cool.
Right. Well, my point is, is if you're paying attention to the market as a whole, like if there wasn't potential for it to correct back in an upward trend, it wouldn't at all. So it's kind of a hopeful thing to see that, yes, there's some upward green movement at the moment.
Yeah, but no project can only go up, right? These are called healthy corrections, right?
Yes.
Or sometimes can be also called manipulations of the market, right, from the big whales. But everything is good, it gives some entry and exit points for some different people. You can cash in some of the money, then the price comes down, people invest yet, they can come in again, not again, but they come in first time because it's lower. So, it just gives it's not only bad,
Right.
Some people are cashing in this moment. As a matter of fact.
Personally, me, when I see a correction like this, where the market's down, that's when I like to buy.
Yeah.
Like personally, like there's this whole let's be afraid of this market dip thing. It's kind of silly because if people stopped acting that way, it would have corrected back to good by now. Like it takes time, right? But like if people would stop being so fearful to an extent, right? And just realize this is just what the market does, it would get better a lot faster than later,
Sure. I think also some very important facts are happening within the Bitcoin world that I think are going unnoticed. I was reading about, I don't know if you heard about El Salvador. So it's a small country.
I heard about that yesterday, and that's exciting.
It's super exciting, man. And it's a really small country, world of politics and dynamics and financial, I would say the financial system, the global financial system. But something is happening. And is that El Salvador, I think, signed into its legislation that it will accept Bitcoin as legal tender, right? And this is a big step because it means that for the first time, legally in a country within a political system and system, Bitcoin can be traded. So you can go into, we don't really know what's going to happen, but the idea is that you can go into a bank and a Bitcoin account. So you don't need to go into trading accounts. And so really this is a massive step for Bitcoin. It's small, it's discreet, people are not talking about this is where the real value, right? In these little details that are happening in the background. And this is a major milestone for Bitcoin because it's the first one. It's the first country that it will be accepted along the US dollar tender and along their so.
Right. And that's a big shift in the world. As you said, that's huge. When I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, some changes are coming. Some big things are coming. And it's an exciting time to be alive in the world because this is a massive shift. As you said, it's the first country that has a governance that is like, you know what, we want to actually use this as legal tender for everything. And I think we're going to see a lot of smaller countries who have a problem with like hyperinflation and devaluing in their system start accepting more cryptocurrencies because their paper money issue is becoming a real problem. Poverty is a real issue, and they're going to see it as a way with cryptocurrency to stabilize their governments.
I think it will. It's a win. Well, it can be a win-win. It's difficult to forecast, of course, but because also the Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrencies are very volatile, it's also dangerous. You cannot just depend on one, right? The US dollar the most accepted global currency and is used for global trading. So it's very stable. You know your value. And until I would say cryptocurrencies reach a level that is like boring to look at, like that it moves 0.01. I don't think they're ready for being being used on a day-to-day basis. Still a speculative asset, but it's getting there. It's getting there, and this is the beginning because Bitcoin is owned by no country, no entity, no government. Right? That's what it was. More than anonymity and everything within Bitcoin is really that's what it was. The value of it is that it's uncontrolled. It's decentralized. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
And well, I like it that you broke down the decentralized aspect because, there's a lot of people that still don't understand what decentralized means. And I think, it is the antithesis of fiat currency, which is centralized, bank controlled. It is the, US dollar. It is the whole let it be this sort of deal, as to where cryptocurrency is this. It's its own autonomous entity. And for the, as I have a listener at home who really loved you guys, she's just now getting into crypto and she doesn't know what all the words mean. So that explanation was really, really helpful. Now, you said you guys are kind of branching into gaming, right?
Well, not branching into gaming, but we are excited to unveil our mascot, which is going to be something playful. And our website, which is being designed by UX designer, which, as I said before, it's going to be very animated and therefore have a little bit of a gaming aspect into it.
Okay. Well, that's really exciting. And, it's like when companies are doing new things and there's stuff moving along, I really think that's a very positive step. And you guys have had growth. And you're making steps since we talked to you last. That's a really great sign.
Absolutely. That
is that's what you want to see. It's about a month later and you're here still. It wasn't a rug pull. You guys are in it for the long haul. We've had some conversations where you are serious about growing this. It's your primary concern. You're like, we want to grow it for our holders. We want to increase our market cap. We want to increase our liquidity. It's a conversation we've had in depth, Mr. Prince.
It is. That's what we want to. We want to grow. Yes, we want to grow in liquidity. We want to grow in market cap because the more we do that, this is like a cyclical growth, right? So the more people that join the more, how can I say it? The more it will grow our community, and the more people will see this as a strong project, and the more they will believe it's a strong project, the more people will join, right? And then we can all grow together.
Community is the big thing.
Absolutely. I want to add to that. That is something that we spoke about just before, which is decentralization, and I consider this as a financial product because you can consider decentralized, right? Nobody controls us apart from us and the community, which we are daily in discussion with. And so that's why it's innovation and it's best. And that's very important that the team and the community believe in it together, which is why my partner here is, growing the community is what solidifies it. And more than that, even the engagement, you can have a small, super engaged, super strong. That will guarantee that this is a product that will take.
Yeah,
the limit is because we're unregulated, and this is because of the inherent blockchain technology, which is decentralized. The limits to growth are endless. Basically, it's the world. The world is your growth.
That's limitless potential.
Yes. That's the beauty.
That's why I got involved in entertainment and got involved in crypto, right? Because I don't like the idea of someone telling me how much money I can make.
The thing that we have in our community is that's where we can differentiate those that want to be a part of the community and those that want to have a profit. We had some people there that sent some discouraging message saying that, this is not making money, this is down and down and down. What these people don't understand is first of all, everything was going, the entire market was going down. Now, even when we were going down, we were growing in liquidity, and that's what I told before. So actually, the project is growing. You cannot see it at first sight because what you see is turning red. But what we know is that more people are joining, and every time someone buys or sells, the liquidity is just growing. So that's where you can actually see some people from the community saying, "Okay, this is going down, and I'm buying more." So these are the people that we're working for. Those that actually believe it. They see these small dips, but they see it as a dip. That's it. This is a correction. They can see the bigger picture as we can see. And that's why we call it a community, because we all have the same goal. We all have the same vision. We are here to make it happen. They are here to make the decisions. That's all.
Right. And that's a really good way to look at it when you're looking at the liquidity versus just the price.
Yeah, the price doesn't matter. Actually, we were speaking before we started this podcast, the three of us, and like market cap means nothing, price means nothing, and because the market cap will be a direct correlation between the liquidity and the number of tokens that we could actually start. We could have started this project with a 1 trillion, but it would not have liquidity to sustain that market cap, so that makes no sense at all. So that's just a number that doesn't actually explain or doesn't make your product, right? Your project. It doesn't explain what your project is. It doesn't explain the real value of your. So that's just a fictitious number. That's
right. Like say for instance, like you want to trade and whatnot. If the liquidity is not there, then you can only trade a certain amount.
Yes, if the market cap is 1 trillion, you have 6,000 of liquidity. You can play with 6,000. That's it. Enjoy. You will never have 1 trillion.
Right. That is the thing that like a lot of people don't understand, I think, and that's why people are freaking out because they're like, "Well, I don't have that much money." Well, if you have a lot of money, say it's valued at like say 10 grand, but the liquidity only lets you move 4 grand, then you really don't have 10 grand, do you?
Absolutely. And this is why it's sorry to cut you.
And like that's why I think this conversation is so important because it's explaining something further to the people at home. It's also explaining stuff to me too. Like I'm constantly learning when I talk to you guys because you're so educated. That's the difference between like you guys when I talk to you and some of these other like bozos out there that they want to talk and they use buzzwords, right? They're not actually educated in what they're doing, and they're just trying to impress the listeners or impress their communities, and they don't like talk about like the liquidity of the project.
None of us knows everything about right. We're still learning about it, and we need to be honest enough or simple enough to tell at least to our listeners that we don't know everything. Just like you, we need to learn every single day. We need to study. We need to just want to know more. And that's where the ideas come from, right? Because, as I was saying, DeFi is now but back then no one knew about mining. No one knew about any of that. Now some of us.
It's still a very small niche. Though.
Yeah, it's still a very small niche. Yes, for us, at least for me and you, it's still is already but maybe tomorrow someone will just create something new within this technology that is being used nowadays, and we will not know. So we need to learn, and by learning, we'll come up with new ideas, and maybe we can adapt our project or our idea and merge into those new ideas and come up with something new. And that's how a project can evolve every single day. That's it. That's the reality.
It's a beautiful thing when you see, developers growing alongside a project. When you see them really like latching on and pushing and growing and educating and not getting discouraged, because I'm talking to a lot of people right now and they're discouraged inside this market correction, and it's almost like people are kind of scared to talk about it because they don't want to create FUD, and I understand that, but unless we start talking about like, this is just a natural thing. There's no reason to be scared. This happens like every 4 years, something like this happens in these cycles because the market moves in a cycle.
Right. What's important here is to go back and look at the core value of this. So if something is not bringing value, then there is no reason for it to exist. Mm-hmm. What's the value? What's the value of blockchain? What's the value of crypto? What's the value of DeFi token? That you need to look at the deeper picture of this and look for the value, right? And that's where you realize that if there is value, if you see that this is a sustainable financial product or as whatever you want to call it, whatever it is, then if you see value, you know that this, it's about selecting, of course, your good projects and good ideas. But if you see value, then you should keep your cool. That these things, the market price is like in everything. Even a normal financial market, people will trade up and down according to the news that it brings out. Perhaps not as volatile as crypto for sure, but that's what the market is about. It's the price is simply one reflection, of the reality of the value.
And I think in about 6 months, everyone's attitude will change. You know what I mean? Like maybe even sooner than that, because the market will be doing good again.
Well, none of us know, right? We hope so.
I think so. I mean, I'm not a financial advisor by any means, but like,
but by Dmoon.
Yeah, I'm not a financial advisor by any means, but by Dmoon. But like that's just the thing. The market is unpredictable. The market can be rough, but you guys are growing in value. Like, despite what the price chart says, the value and the liquidity is growing because the way you guys have your tokens set up. And I have high hopes for Dmoon.
That's very kind, man. That's very kind.
Because this is why I say it. Ready? This is why I say it. Because I've known you guys for about a month now, and every single time I talk to you guys are trying to figure out ways to grow the project. Like, you are actively seeking out ways to grow the project in ways that's not going to hurt the project. That's the big thing. If you guys were just jumping on every bandwagon that came your way at the potential chance for growth, then you wouldn't do very good. But the truth is, you guys are taking a lot of care and a lot of consideration. You don't make any quick decisions without having a really long conversation first. And, some things are pretty no-brainer, right? Like, you're like, oh, this is a good idea, let's do it. Other things, you're like, is this the right move at the right time? And that is a level of consideration and care that I really think that people at home need to know about, because it means you are in it for the long term. You are in it for the fact that we want to actually do this thing. Because at first, as you've said, you kind of just did it to see if it would happen, right? And then you've grown a lot of affection for the project. You grew like, oh, this is viable. I can do this. And now you're like, I'm going to educate myself as much as possible, because you were educated beforehand. But now you're like, now I need to master this because Absolutely. I have a community that depends on me.
Absolutely. And as I was saying before, this is because of the inherent decentralization, the really limitless, right? We have investors and holders from all over the world. We have from Nigeria, the United States. Of course, the United States is the most active, as we can see from website visitors, because the crypto world is the most active in the United States, a big market. But we have investors from all. We are creating a community, a brand, some kind of idea, a project, an international global, you could even say. This is beautiful, and people are from all over the world. The community is Earth, right? It's from planet Earth. It's not from a particular country, a particular skin color, whatever it is. It's really global, and it's super mixed, and we love that.
We've got someone yesterday from Antarctica.
From Antarctica.
From a party, yes, party. Well, now here's something me and you've discussed, right? Something for the community, for people to just enjoy, because we've also talked about, not just like growing the liquidity and growing the value, but also the enrichment of the community. I think community enrichment is very, very important. And one of the things we've discussed is kind of like, why not come up with a theme song, right?
Yes, so we've been thinking about the theme song. The other day came out like naturally, and now maybe it would be fun to actually make a. I don't know if there are other theme songs out there for other, but who cares? We could do ours, and yes, we can do it.
I'm not sure you call it a theme song or a jingle. I don't know.
I don't know, jingle, theme song, regardless.
Yeah, it's the same.
People want to hear you sing, bro. They want to hear you sing.
Because when we first shared our your community, a lot of people said they liked the song. It was just for fun, but they liked it, and I even think they said this could be done in a real way. So a real jingle or real theme song to be done for the project as a part of the. So yes, we were thinking about it, and most definitely, if the community wants to go ahead, we shall do it.
And I'm glad that we figured out the audio stuff that we're having issues with. We figured out why his mic had been cutting in and out. And it was
It's better now, yeah.
Yeah, now it sounds like, because what it was is like sometimes with these calls, if your voice goes over a certain level, it'll cut it out. So yeah, that's good.
That was very beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep. Namaste.
Namaste. Yes, of course. Now, I think that's a good point for us to end this one because you guys are planning on coming back.
Oh, that's great.
You know, I think you're planning to come back, right?
Well, if you invite us.
If you do invite us, yes.
Well, I might be able to work it into my schedule.
A little spot right there.
But
to be honest, we have fun discussing the ins and outs of our project. Is a new project, even though in the crypto space or in the blockchain space it can look very old. I mean, 1 month, but it is
1 month. It didn't make 100x.
What? Oh no! What? But that's the thing, man. Like the fact that it's still here, regardless of the fact that it didn't go 100x in a month. What? Like that's a good sign, though, because you're here to stay.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it's that security that I think that people need.
I think also you gotta have a little bit of a longer vision, and we were seeing here people that became millionaires with Dogecoin, and it took them over 4 years, 5 years, you know.
Right.
So we can't really say what this is. Of course, Dogecoin is a coin and a currency completely different to what we are, or very different, running on blockchain as well, but very different project. So, but yeah, I think our project is here to stay, man. So, you know. Stay along, man, and we'll have fun, a fun ride, and which we plan to take this very far. Our community, we hope it can grow very far and very big.
Let's just chill.
And we're very relaxed about it, and we plan to grow. That's continued building. Yeah.
That's the thing right there. So folks at home, Dmoon is still alive. Dmoon is still here. They're saying, do not focus on short-term gains, but long-term success. And that's what you want to hear from these projects, because they're thinking about the long term. They're thinking about being there for you 4 or 5 years down the road. So that being said, just start putting a little bit of money into it, because if they're going to be here long term, 4 or 5 years down the line, that's going to pay off, maybe sooner, hopefully sooner. But regardless of what it looks like, they are here for your long-term success. And your short-term gain, that's great and all, but I would rather have long-term security than a short up spike.
Absolutely.
So guys, thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me, man.
Of course. I'll have you out anytime. Heck.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you soon, brothers. Now, folks at home, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and share with all of your friends, and ring the bell to get all the notifications for all the projects you need so you can make your own decisions and do your own research. And as well as that, after you get some Dmoon, here's a little bit of advice for you. Hold all that